Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down the fascinating biological mechanics of what actually happens when you drink Psyllium Husk every single day. I'm so glad you're here because we're moving way beyond just thinking of this stuff as a baking thickener or some basic fiber supplement. Instead, we're diving straight into the hard science of what it literally does inside your body.
Well, let's kick things off with this absolutely incredible number. 50 times. You see, as soon as psyllium hits a glass of water, it swells up into this thick gel that expands to 50 times its original size. And honestly, that crazy physical transformation, it's the absolute engine driving everything we're going to cover today. Here's a quick look at our agenda. We'll start with the power of the gel itself, then look at digestive relief, explore the heart health benefits, dive into weight and gut health, and finally, finish up with exactly how to use it safely.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Gel Power. We need to look at the actual physical properties of this gel to understand exactly why it works so well.
So our starting point is the Plantago ovata plant. Now keep in mind, we aren't talking about some harsh traditional chemical laxative here. No way. This is a purely natural fiber derived straight from the plant's seeds. Think of it like a really powerful mechanical sponge inside your body. The moment you drink it, it forms this extremely absorbent biological gel.
Moving right along to Section 2, Digestive Relief. Let's explore how restoring balance creates some pretty immediate local effects the second this gel enters your digestive tract.
The sheer effectiveness of this is just wow. It's incredible. In just 4 weeks, one clinical trial found that 75% of patients dealing with chronic constipation saw their regularity more than double. And get this, without any painful straining. Before trying psyllium, these folks were really struggling to go even once or twice a week. The gel simply comes in and makes everything so much easier to pass. Now, here is where it gets really fascinating. It's a bit of a paradox, right? The gel acts as this perfect moisture regulator for both extremes of digestive distress. On one hand, it adds vital moisture and lubrication to hard stools, but on the flip side, studies show that just 6 grams daily actually absorbs extra moisture from loose stools too, which reduces leakage episodes by anywhere from 30 to 50%. It's literally restoring balance to your entire system.
And if we look a little higher up the digestive tract, well, clinical trials show psyllium has an 89% response rate for soothing acid reflux. Let that sink in. 89%. That is practically identical to standard over-the-counter medications like omeprazole.
So how exactly does it do that? Well, by reducing the upward pressure on the muscle right above your stomach, it physically keeps that burning acid down exactly where it belongs. Remember how we said the gel acts like a dense sponge? It binds to those digestive acids and literally makes them too thick to splash upwards into your food pipe. So no more heartburn.
Okay, let's jump into Section 3, Heart Health. It's time to see how this localized digestive gel actually triggers some massive metabolic benefits for your heart.
This is such an amazing chain reaction. Normally, your liver uses blood cholesterol to make bile acids so you can digest fats, and then your body just naturally recycles them. But when psyllium gel enters the mix, it binds to and permanently traps those bile acids right in the gut, meaning they just pass straight out of you. Because of this, your liver essentially panics. It has absolutely no choice but to vacuum up more LDL cholesterol directly from your bloodstream to make fresh bile.
And the result of that little trick? It's pretty remarkable. A huge meta-analysis showed that taking just 10 grams of psyllium a day for 8 weeks led to a steady 7% drop in LDL cholesterol. I mean, that's a real game changer. And on top of that, if we look at research across 14 different trials with over 800 people, it significantly lowered systolic blood pressure too, especially for folks whose pressure was already running high.
Plus, because this thick gel physically lines your stomach, the sugars and starchy carbs you eat break down way slower. This is huge because it stops those rapid insulin spikes, totally easing the workload on your heart and arteries. Your pancreas doesn't have to freak out and dump a massive wave of insulin all at once. In fact, one trial showed A1C levels dropped by a full point in just 8 weeks.
Building right on that idea of steady blood sugar, let's head into Section 4, Weight and Gut. We're going to look at the incredible systemic effects this has on your weight, your brain, and even your skin.
So what's truly fascinating here is how the gel literally talks to your brain. As the psyllium swells up, it physically presses against the stretch receptors in your stomach wall. That pressure sends a signal right up the vagus nerve to tell you to stop eating. This actually triggers the release of satiety hormones, specifically GLP-1 and PY.
Think about that for a second. You are naturally utilizing the exact same hormonal pathway that's targeted by all those highly popular modern weight loss drugs.
And because this gel keeps those pesky fat storage hormones in check, you get to reap an entire cascade of side benefits. We're talking a meta-analysis showing a reduced BMI and a full 1-inch reduction around the waist in just 12 weeks. Moving further down into the large intestine, it actually feeds your good gut bacteria. That boosts serotonin production. Remember, 90% of that is made in the gut, which means way better energy, mood, and sleep. Plus, the extra internal lubrication naturally prevents painful things like hemorrhoids. Oh, and stabilized insulin? That even cuts down facial oil production and clears up your pores from the inside out. The whole shebang.
All right, if you want all of those amazing benefits without any of the discomfort, we need to look at Section 5, Safe Usage. You really have to follow a strict protocol to wield this powerful fiber correctly. You absolutely must follow this step-by-step process, ideally about 30 minutes before a main meal. Step 1. Stir 1 teaspoon of the powder, or a tablespoon if you're using flakes, very quickly into a large 8 to 12-ounce glass of water. Step 2. You've got to drink that entirely within 90 seconds. Don't let it sit. If you wait, it turns into this super thick gel right in the glass and it's terribly difficult to swallow. And step 3. This is absolutely paramount. Immediately drink a second, tall glass of plain water. Because this stuff swells up so rapidly, if you don't give it enough hydration, the fiber will actually pull vital moisture directly from your own body tissues, and we definitely don't want that.
Now, there are a few critical traps you need to avoid, especially when it comes to taking other medications. Because the gel acts as a physical barrier in your stomach, you must always take it at least 2 hours before or after your daily prescriptions, or it might literally block them from being absorbed. Also, do yourself a favor and stick to pure organic powder. Skip those sugary, flavored versions full of artificial colors. And honestly, don't rely on capsules either. You'd literally need to swallow about 8 of them just to equal 1 measly teaspoon of powder. Finally, ease your body into this. Start with just a teaspoon a day for the first week. And please don't quit just because you get a little minor bloating in those first 3 to 7 days. Your body will adjust.
So as you digest all of this information, pun absolutely intended, I want you to consider something. Sometimes what we interpret as mental anxiety or even stubborn skin issues, well, they're actually just a physical distress signal coming straight from an irritated gut. A compromised digestive tract will send constant warning messages right up that vagus nerve, which can trigger a rapid heart rate or tightness in the chest. So you have to wonder, could soothing those internal pathways with a simple daily gel be the missing key to finally switching your nervous system out of fight or flight and into rest and digest? It's a pretty powerful thought to end on, isn't it? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today, and here's to your great health.